In just 170 years, America went from a rebellious colony to the world's most dominant force. But the path to superpower status wasn't inevitable. It required ruthless ambition, strategic brilliance, and perfect timing. From the ashes of the Civil War to the atomic age, the United States orchestrated one of history's most dramatic rises to power. Today, we'll uncover the calculated moves, bold policies, and pivotal moments that transformed a young nation into the global hegemon that shapes our world. This isn't just about military might. It's about the systematic construction of an empire through economics, geography, and geopolitical chess moves that would make Machiavelli proud. The foundation, Geography as Destiny, 1800s. The American rise begins with an accident of geography that proved to be pure strategic gold. Picture this: two massive oceans serving as natural fortresses, fertile plains stretching for thousands of miles, and resources buried beneath the soil that would fuel the Industrial Revolution. But geography alone doesn't create superpowers. It's what you do with it that counts. The doctrine that changed everything. In 1823, President Monroe issued what would become known as the Monroe Doctrine, a bold declaration that essentially told European powers to stay out of the Americas. It seems audacious for a young nation to dictate terms to global empires, but here's the genius. America couldn't enforce it yet, but Britain could. The British Navy, dominant of the seas, had economic interests in keeping other European powers away from American markets. America essentially borrowed Britain's power to protect its sphere of influence. Industrial Revolution and the Railroad Revolution. While European powers were busy fighting each other, America was quietly building the infrastructure of a future superpower. The Transcontinental Railroad, completed in 1869, wasn't just about connecting coasts. It was about creating a unified economic zone larger than all of Europe. Imagine goods flowing from New York to California faster than they could travel from London to Berlin. This internal connectivity became America's secret weapon. The Spanish-American War, America's coming out party. 1898 marked America's debut on the world stage as a true imperial power. The Spanish-American War lasted just 113 days, but its consequences echoed for centuries. In one swift campaign, America acquired Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. Suddenly, the stars and stripes flew across the Pacific. The Panama Canal, engineering empire. Nothing illustrates American strategic thinking like the Panama. The European catastrophe creates American opportunity. Here's where America faced its greatest strategic dilemma: how to benefit from World War I without being destroyed by it. European powers were bleeding themselves white in the trenches, their economies redirected entirely toward mutual annihilation. For America, this presented both unprecedented opportunity and existential risk. The challenge was complex. How could America become Europe's arsenal without becoming Europe's battlefield? How could it emerge from the war stronger rather than weakened? The solution would require delicate balancing, and it would transform America from regional power to global creditor. World War I. The Arsenal Strategy. America's entry into World War I in 1917 came not from idealism but from cold calculation. By that point, America had loaned billions to the Allies. Their victory had become an economic necessity. But the war years revealed something more profound: America's industrial kappa. The interwar period, economic empire building. The 1920s saw America perfect the art of informal empire. Instead of colonies, America built economic dependence. American companies like Ford, General Electric, and Standard Oil established operations worldwide, creating webs of economic interdependence. When countries needed capital for development, they came to New York, not London. The Great Depression. Crisis as catalyst. The Great Depression could have ended America's rise, but instead, it accelerated it. While the economic crash was global, America's response was revolutionary. The New Deal represented the first comprehensive attempt by any government to manage a modern industrial economy. Franklin Roosevelt's administration didn't just respond to the crisis. They used it to fundamentally restructure American power. The Tennessee Valley Authority, the interstate highway system planning, and massive infrastructure projects weren't just about recovery. They were about World War II, the crucible of superpower status. Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, marked the moment America stopped pretending to be anything other than a global power. But here's the crucial insight. America had been preparing for this moment since 1939. The Lend-Lease program wasn't just about helping allies. It was about ensuring that when war came, American industry would already be mobilized. But numbers from America's war production are almost incomprehensible. In 4 years, America produced 300,000 aircraft, 124,000 ships, 634,000 tons of naval vessels, and 88,000 tanks. American factories didn't just outproduce the Axis powers, they outproduced the rest of the world combined. But the true genius of American strategy wasn't just industrial, it was geographical. While every other major power saw their homelands devastated by war, America emerged with its infrastructure not only intact, but vastly expanded. By 1945, America possessed half of the world's industrial, the Bretton Woods moment. In July 1944, while D-Day forces were still establishing their foothold in Normandy, 44 nations gathered in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to design the post-war global economic system. The outcome wasn't negotiated, it was dictated. The US dollar became the world's reserve currency, backed by gold held in American vaults. Every international transaction would flow through New York banks. This was power beyond any empire in history. Rome controlled territories. Britain controlled sea lanes. But America would control money itself. Every nation wanting to engage in international trade would need dollars. And to get dollars, they would need to sell America something America wanted to buy. The architecture of hegemony. By 1945, America had constructed something unprecedented in human history, a global system designed to perpetuate its own dominance. The United Nations headquarters in New York. NATO with its American Supreme Commander, the World Bank. America's rise to superpower status wasn't accidental or inevitable. It was the result of consistent strategic vision executed across multiple generations. From the Monroe Doctrine to Bretton Woods, American leaders understood that true power comes not from controlling territories, but from shaping the rules of the global system itself. The United States didn't just become a superpower, it redefined what superpower status meant for the modern world. Military might, economic dominance, technological superiority, and most crucially, the ability to make the global system work in your favor while convincing others that it serves their interests too. What do you think was the most crucial decision in America's rise to superpower status? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the strategies that shaped our world.